the situation to the southeast of where I am is still very much an unfolding situation. We understand that the rain has eased and the floodwaters are starting to subside there, which is really giving emergency crews the ability to be able to carry out their search and rescue operations easier than what they were over the last 24 hours. They're hoping to be able to find more people who are still missing in those flooded towns and villages to the southeast of here. Hundreds of soldiers have been deployed to help find those feared missing. Some places can only be reached by helicopter. So this is a really, really serious situation down there. And some of the pictures that we have seen, Girish, show very desperate scenes where people have been climbing atop roofs, also cars. We've seen rescue crews in helicopters winching people to safety as they've clutched on to their pets. The devastation that has been experienced down there, we're seeing that the floodwaters were up to rooftops in many parts of the region. Streets have caved in, a high-speed train was derailed, and bridges have collapsed. So really the devastation has only become clear there as morning yesterday, but there is still more rain expected down there. We've heard from the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez. He has declared 3 days of mourning and urged residents to not become complacent because more wet weather is on the way.
España entera llora con todos y con todas vosotros.
The whole of Spain is crying with all of you. Our absolute priority is to help you. The public administrations are working. We're working in a coordinated manner to make this possible, and we're going to provide all the necessary means today and tomorrow and for as long as it takes so that we can recover from this tragedy. We're not going to leave you alone.
And of course, these floods caught many by surprise. Are residents angry about the lack of warning?
Yeah, they are. As with many tragedies, I'm sure you would be aware of, grief and hope does quickly turn to anger. And there are accusations that Spanish authorities just simply didn't give people enough warning of the impending disaster. The Civil Protection Agency here in Spain, which is deployed during these types of situations, didn't actually issue an alert for the disaster until 8:15 p.m. on Tuesday night. And by this time, many villages in that region were already well underwater and had been for a few hours. That, of course, meant that people weren't able to get off the roads or move to higher ground with any sort of notice. And there is criticisms being laid at the Spanish government for disbanding a local disaster relief agency that was based down in Valencia. So they're the sorts of stories that we're hearing emerge from people who are down in that region.
And Kathryn, given the record levels of the rainfall, has this disaster given rise to discussions surrounding global warming?
Yes, it most certainly has. This was an extraordinary amount of rain. Let's just cover that off. More than 490 millimetres fell in just 8 hours in that region, in most of it actually within just 1 hour. That's close to 20 inches of rain. And this was caused by a fairly common weather phenomenon called Dana, which happens when cold air moves over the warm Mediterranean Sea. That causes the hot air to rise and quickly form into dense water-laden clouds, which then hangs over the area for a while and increases in intensity. So whilst these systems are common during autumn in this region, particularly in Spain due to its location between the North Atlantic Ocean and also the Mediterranean Sea, meteorologists are saying that the intensity and frequency of these types of systems are increasing as a result of rising global temperatures and climate change. So very big questions here on the ground in Spain over just how quickly authorities raised the alarm with residents on the ground. And I'm sure that it will be a tense few days here as the rescue efforts continue and if that rain does eventuate in the next few days.
Okay, Europe correspondent Kathryn Diss, thanks very much for that update.